An 87-year-old grandmother was sitting in row 12 at Madonna's concert when her granddaughter started screaming. What happened next made 20,000 people stop and watch one tiny woman become a hero. September 23, 2016. Madison Square Garden, New York City. Madonna's Rebel Heart World Tour was in full swing, and the place was absolutely packed. 20,000 people singing, dancing, losing themselves in the music. The energy was electric, the way it always is when you're crammed into an arena with that many people, all feeling the same thing at the same time. In row 12, seat 14, sat Dorothy Chen. 87 years old, barely 5 feet tall, wearing a sparkly purple jacket she'd bought specifically for this night. Next to her was her granddaughter, Emily, 19 years old, bouncing in her seat, singing every word of every song like her life depended on it. This was Emily's first Madonna concert. Actually, it was Emily's first concert ever. She'd begged her grandmother to come with her because Emily didn't have anyone else. Her parents had died in a car accident when she was 12. Dorothy had raised her for the past 7 years, just the two of them in a tiny apartment in Queens. Dorothy wasn't a Madonna fan. Truth be told, she found the music a little too loud and the outfits a little too revealing. But Emily loved Madonna with the kind of pure, uncomplicated joy that made Dorothy willing to sit through anything. If this concert made her granddaughter happy, Dorothy would sit there and smile through every decibel. Madonna was about 90 minutes into the show, performing Vogue with a full dance routine, backup dancers hitting every mark, lights flashing in perfect sync. The crowd was going absolutely crazy. People had their phones up, recording, trying to capture this perfect moment. Emily was dancing in the limited space between the seats, singing at the top of her lungs, completely lost in the moment. Dorothy was watching her with that expression grandmothers have when they're looking at someone they'd die for, proud, protective, and just a little bit tired. And then something changed in Emily's face. Dorothy saw it immediately. The way Emily's smile froze, the way her eyes went wide, not with excitement, but with fear. The way she suddenly stopped moving, like someone had hit pause on her entire body. Emily, Dorothy reached out and touched her granddaughter's arm. "Honey, are you okay?" Emily didn't respond. She was staring straight ahead, but Dorothy could tell she wasn't seeing anything. Her breathing had changed. Fast, shallow, desperate gulps of air that weren't getting to her lungs. Then Emily grabbed Dorothy's hand and squeezed so hard it hurt. "Grandma," she gasped, and the word came out strangled, terrified. "Grandma, I can't breathe." Dorothy had lived through World War II, raised 4 children, buried a husband, and survived cancer twice. She didn't panic easily, but watching her granddaughter's face turn pale, watching her gasp for air like a fish out of water, feeling her shake like she was freezing, even though it was hot in the arena, Dorothy felt fear grip her chest. "You're okay, baby," Dorothy said, trying to keep her voice calm, even though her heart was racing. "You're having a panic attack. You're going to be okay." Emily shook her head violently. "I'm dying. Grandma, I'm dying. I can't breathe. Something's wrong. I'm dying." The people around them were starting to notice. A man in the row behind tapped Dorothy's shoulder. "Is she okay? Should I get security?" Dorothy ignored him. She grabbed Emily's face with both hands, forcing her granddaughter to look at her. "Emily Rose Chen, you listen to me. You are not dying. You are having a panic attack. I know it feels like you're dying, but you're not. You're safe. I've got you." But Emily was spiraling. Her whole body was shaking now, Tears were streaming down her face. She was making these awful gasping sounds that cut through even the loud music. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. She kept repeating like a broken record. Dorothy pulled Emily into her arms, this 19-year-old girl who was taller than her grandmother, but right now felt as small and scared as she had at 12, when she'd first come to live with Dorothy. Breathe with me, Dorothy said firmly. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Watch me. In, out, in, out. But Emily couldn't. She was too far gone, trapped in that horrible place where your brain convinces you that you're dying, and nothing anyone says can break through the terror. People around them were definitely staring now. Someone was trying to get past them to go get help. The music was still blaring. Madonna was still performing, but in row 12, a crisis was unfolding. That's when Madonna noticed. She was mid-performance, executing a complex dance move, when her eyes swept across the crowd and landed on something that made her stop cold. An elderly woman in a purple jacket, small enough to almost disappear in the crowd, holding a young girl who was clearly in distress. Madonna stopped dancing. She walked to the edge of the stage, still holding her microphone, and just stared at row 12. The band, confused, kept playing for a few more beats before trailing off one by one. The backup dancers stopped mid-move, looking at each other uncertainly. The crowd started to quiet down, sensing that something was happening. Madonna brought the microphone to her lips. Hold on. Stop the music. Stop everything. The arena went silent. 20,000 people all looking around, trying to figure out what was happening. Madonna pointed toward row 12. You, the woman in the purple jacket, stand up. Dorothy looked up from Emily's face, confused, not immediately realizing Madonna was talking to her. A spotlight swung over and landed on them, and Dorothy understood with a jolt that 20,000 people were now looking directly at her and her granddaughter. What's happening? Madonna called out. Her voice was firm but not unkind. Is she okay? Dorothy, still holding Emily, who was gasping and crying, called back. She's having a panic attack. She can't breathe. She thinks she's dying. The arena remained silent. You could hear Emily's gasping breaths through the sound system because Dorothy was close enough to Madonna's microphone for it to pick up. Madonna didn't hesitate. Okay, everyone listen to me. We're going to help her together. She sat down right there on the edge of the stage, legs dangling, like she had all the time in the world, like there weren't 20,000 people watching, like this wasn't the middle of a sold-out concert. What's her name? Madonna asked. Emily, Dorothy answered, her voice shaking now with relief that someone was helping, that they weren't alone in this. Emily. Madonna's voice rang out through the arena, gentle but commanding. Emily, can you hear me? Emily, still gasping, still crying, managed a tiny nod. Good. Emily, you're not dying. I promise you, you're not dying. You're having a panic attack, and panic attacks can't kill you. I know that's hard to believe right now, but I need you to trust me. Can you trust me? Another tiny nod. Okay. Now, I want everyone in this arena to help Emily. We're all going to breathe together. All 20,000 of us. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and out for 4 counts. And we're going to do it until Emily can breathe again. Madonna looked out at the crowd. Is everyone ready to help Emily? The response was immediate, 20,000 voices calling out, yes, in unison. All right, here we go. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Out 1, 2, 3, 4. The entire Madison Square Garden took a breath together. It was the strangest, most beautiful thing Dorothy had ever experienced. 20,000 strangers, all breathing in unison, all focused on helping one terrified 19-year-old girl. Again, Madonna said. In 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, out 1, 2, 3, 4. Dorothy held Emily close and breathed with the rhythm. And slowly, she felt Emily's breathing start to sync up, the gasps becoming less desperate, the shaking becoming less violent. That's it, Emily, Madonna encouraged. You're doing it. Stay with us. In 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, out 1, 2, 3, 4. They did this for 5 full minutes. Madonna sitting on the edge of the stage, an 87-year-old grandmother, in row 12 holding her granddaughter, and 20,000 people all breathing together. Finally, Emily lifted her head from Dorothy's shoulder. Her face was blotchy and tear-stained, but she was breathing, really breathing. There she is, Madonna said, and her voice was so warm, so full of genuine care, that Dorothy started crying. Emily, you did it. You're okay. Emily, her voice hoarse from crying, called out, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I ruined your show. Madonna smiled. You didn't ruin anything, baby. You just reminded everyone here what's really important. Music is amazing, but taking care of each other, that's everything. She stood up and addressed the crowd. Let's give Emily and her grandmother a round of applause for showing us what bravery looks like. The applause was deafening, but it wasn't the usual concert applause. It was respectful, supportive, full of genuine compassion. Emily, Madonna continued, I want you to know something. I've had panic attacks. Lots of them. They're terrifying. They make you feel like you're losing your mind. But you're not alone. And you just survived one with 20,000 people supporting you. How many people can say that? Emily managed a small smile. Madonna turned to Dorothy. And you, grandmother in the purple jacket. What's your name? Dorothy. She called back, her voice still shaky. Dorothy, you are a rock star. The way you held her, the way you stayed calm, the way you loved her through it. That's everything. Emily is so lucky to have you. Dorothy, who rarely cried, was full-on sobbing now. Madonna picked up her microphone and said, We're going to finish this show, but before we do, I want to dedicate this next song to Emily and Dorothy. It's called Like a Prayer, and it's about the people who save us when we can't save ourselves. The opening notes started, and the crowd erupted. But Dorothy wasn't paying attention to the music anymore. She was holding Emily, who was breathing normally now, who had stopped shaking, who was looking up at the stage with wonder and gratitude. Thank you, Grandma, Emily whispered. Thank you for not leaving me. Never, Dorothy whispered back. I will never leave you. After the concert, security came to escort Dorothy and Emily backstage. Madonna wanted to see them. In the dressing room, Madonna hugged Emily like she was her own family. How are you feeling? Better, Emily said. Embarrassed, but better. Don't be embarrassed, Madonna said firmly. 1 in 4 people will have a panic attack at some point in their lives. You're not alone. You're not broken. You just needed help, and 20,000 people were honored to give it to you. She turned to Dorothy. And you, 87 years old, and still taking care of everyone. You're my hero. Dorothy, who'd spent her whole life taking care of other people, who rarely got acknowledged for it, who just did what needed to be done without expecting recognition, broke down crying for the second time that night. Madonna sat with them for 20 minutes, talking about panic attacks, about anxiety, about the importance of asking for help. She gave Emily her personal phone number. If you ever need to talk, you call me. I mean it. They took a photo together. Dorothy, in her purple jacket, Emily with her tear-stained face still smiling, and Madonna with her arms around both of them. That photo went viral, not because it was scandalous or controversial, but because it captured something real, a moment of human connection in a world that often feels disconnected. A reminder that sometimes the show needs to stop because people matter more than performance. Emily started therapy after that night. She learned coping mechanisms for her panic attacks. She joined a support group. She realized that having panic attacks didn't make her weak. Surviving them made her strong. Dorothy lived to be 91 years old. When she died, Emily made sure that Purple Jacket was buried with her. And at the funeral, they played Like a Prayer, because that's what Dorothy had been missing. A prayer answered. A tiny woman who refused to let go when her granddaughter needed her most. A hero in a purple jacket who showed up and stayed. Madonna still talks about that night. "I've performed thousands of concerts," she said in an interview. "I've had bigger crowds, better reviews, more elaborate productions. But September 23rd, 2016, at Madison Square Garden, that was the night I remembered why I do this. Not for the spectacle, not for the fame, but for the moments when we all remember we're human and we need each other." So if this story touched you, if it reminded you that it's okay to not be okay, if it made you grateful for the people who hold you when you can't breathe, share it, talk about it, and most importantly, be a Dorothy for someone. Be the person who doesn't let go. Be the purple jacket in someone's darkest moment. Because sometimes, the most heroic thing you can do is just stay.